But one thing I've learned since I've been up here in Alaska in the last 25 years, you get up every day and you do just a little bit. It doesn't have to be much, but you do just a little bit and you're going to get ahead up here. You know, they don't call this the last frontier for nothing. I came up here in 94 in at that time a 22-year-old motorhome. I'll look and see if I've got any pictures of it when I came up here. That was a fun trip. But without a pot to piss in, came up here without a pot to piss in and a 22-year-old motorhome. And I think I've done pretty good for myself, all things considered. So, if you know anybody that wants to buy a home, it's for sale, not the RV. But the house is for sale, as you can see. And the 1+ acre lot. So, the question is going to be whether or not our 27-year-old RV, it's a 1993 Jamboree. It's on a Ford E350 chassis with a 7.5 liter, I think it's a 454 engine. I didn't believe it when I popped the hood in 1993, and it's got a fuel. It's fuel injected. I don't remember when the fuel injection was started, but I didn't think it went back that far. Anyways, that's the beast. That's the thing we're going in. At least on our first trip, we're going to Southeast Alaska to see our daughter, our youngest, wrestle in her last state tournament. She was a high school graduate this year and was fortunate enough to take third in state. Believe me, these girls up here are beasts. She's been wrestling since she was 7 years old, and for her to take third, you haven't seen these girls up here and how good they really are. Why? Because there's not a lot to do in the wintertime up here for girls. And so we had $3 and one boy. So the wife and I decided in the wintertime they could learn to skate to get exercise on the outside, and they could take it an indoor sport. So at the time we decided to do this. Wrestling was just starting up in that season. So we threw all four into wrestling. And so I've had 3 daughters wrestle, and our son wrestled in high school. Our youngest has wrestled in high school. That's the one that's graduating this year. So yeah, to give them good exercise, teach girls how to defend themselves. You never know what's going to happen in life. It's always a good thing to know how to defend yourself, especially against bullies and people who like to try and intimidate you. So here we are. We're getting ready to leave on our call it a shakedown. Yeah, call it a shakedown cruise. See how this 27-year-old RV is going to work. And we're going from that into that. So it's going to be interesting to see how this trip plays out. Because, you know, we're going from, your wife and I are going from a 5-bedroom home to a 1-bedroom teeny tiny home. Yeah, they call them tiny homes for a reason. And when I was in the lower 48 last year and I hauled all of my motorcycles out to store them so that I wouldn't have to haul them behind anything. I looked at RVs. Gosh, I looked in RVs in Texas and New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, and I couldn't find a single one that I would buy. They were all trashed. The ones that were available for sale, I wouldn't have bought them. I didn't buy them because they were all trash. And I actually came back up here after storing the bikes and found this one was for sale. When I got back up here, it came up for sale about a month after I came back up. And don't get me wrong, it's got issues. It's 27 years old. It's had leaks like almost every Class C I've ever found has had, but not too bad. And it's It's got had a few other problems that I've slowly been working on. But you know, you get something that old, it's kind of like me. It's going to have problems. You know, I've got health problems at my age. I'm high risk, so you know what that means without saying the words. In today's 2020, yeah, 2020, in today's 2020 climate, you know what high risk means without me having to spell it out. So we've got to be careful on our trip, and we've got to do things the right way on our trip. So it's going to be interesting, but it's going to be a new adventure. You know, after 25 years, it's time to take up new adventures. I mean, we've raised, you know, that was an adventure, raising 4 children in Alaska, buying an empty lot with nothing but trees on it. It may not look like much to you, but turning a tree-covered lot into a home took some doing. And I'm 69 years old now. I was in my 40s when I came up here, bought this lot, moved onto it in a 22-year-old RV at the time, built my house, found a beautiful woman that would put up with me. You know how those things go. And the rest is history. So I'll give you a quick tour of our RV. It's as you can see, it's a 1994 on a 1993 Ford E350 chassis, and it's a 23 footer. It's 23 feet long. It's a 23 footer. That's a access panel to the tub shower and a gas tank. That's an outdoor shower setup. City water setup, sewer hose obviously, exhaust for the fuel oil heat, propane heater, access bay for the 30 amp cord. This was an access bay for a generator that did come on some models, and on this one it either didn't come with it or it was taken removed, one or two. But so what I did was I went down to my local welder shop for a couple of $100, had a nice little box put into it, and I'm using it for storage now. Obviously, turned out pretty good. As you can see, the striping, the taping is starting to peel and crack. I'm gonna have to do something with that later on, but not right this second. You can see no big dents, no big dings. You know, as I said, there is evidence of leakage in the past, of water leaking in the past. But other than that, everything on it works. Outdoor electric hookup, potable water, manual filling. Got to fix. Got to put a new seal on that. More storage area. It's even set up with a haul, a hitch to haul things with. You know, trailers, cars, whatever. So I'll take you inside. Wife's probably going to kill me for showing this because she's at work right now on her last day at work. Now here's the 2 dogs. Okay, how do we get these dogs? Our kids, that's how. They decided that when they were young, we got all the kids each a puppy. And as the years went by, some of them decided they wanted to keep them, some decided they didn't want to keep them, some got rid of theirs, some decided to get another one. So this is what we ended up with. This is what happens, parents, when your kids go off to college. You end up with their pets. They're not bad. They're okay. So it's a mess right now. I mean, we're living in this thing now because we've sold everything in the house. We had an auction, and literally we sold the rugs in the house down to the everything. I mean, there's not enough left to throw in the garbage. We sold everything, including the kitchen sink almost. So As you can see, we've got a lot of stuff stored up there. That's not all our stuff. Again, it's your children, parents. So we're actually going to take some stuff down to our kids that they wanted us to. So we'll do that for them. And yes, I'm watching YouTube right now. I was before we came back in. That's where I do play around on the laptop a lot. Got refrigerator, freezer. Works really good. This, what's it, Norcold? You know, it's the original OEM fridge that came in with it, I guess. It's a two-powered refrigerator. Works off 110 volt electricity and propane. And it keeps it just as cold in propane, and the freezer keeps it just as frozen on propane as the electricity does. Kitchen, bathroom sink, shower, toilet, you know, typical. This is and a full-sized bed that we don't have to sleep up there in. I was not going to keep climbing up there at my age and sleep up there. So I found the small. That was one of the requirements. I was looking for the shortest possible RV that had both a full-size bed, a shower, a separate shower and toilet, and separate bathroom sink with a full kitchen setup that I could find. That was in halfway decent shape. This is the one we ended up with. So can you find a low-cost RV? Yes. Is it decent? Can you move right into it and live in it? That's a separate question. One that's awfully hard to be able to fulfill. So this is what it looks like. And with that, I'll talk to you later.